Hello.
Hello, friends.
Hello, young friends of Older Nation. Here we are again. We're going to tell you a story about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
We're
We
gonna
like
talk
doing
about,
that. Yeah.
we're going to talk about God and how Jesus did things to show what God thinks of us and what God can do for us.
And Jesus did a lot of really cool things, so
Yes.
it's fun to tell these stories.
That's right. One day, he was out and he was on a hillside, and there were like tons of people, like thousands of people, like 5,000?
5,000. That's such a big number. I can't even
Five-
picture that many people all in one
It
place.
was like going to a great big football game.
Yeah.
And everybody was there listening to Jesus because he was teaching them all about how life could be so good if they just listened to God and knew that God loved them.
Right.
And Jesus taught them all day and all afternoon, and it was getting to be supper time, and the disciples came by, and what'd they say to Jesus?
They said, "We have been hearing some grumbling, and not from mouths, from tummies.
Tummies, that's right.
People are hungry.
Ooh.
And the disciples said, we should send them home so that they can go eat their dinner."
Why didn't they just tell them, let's do McDonald's?
Well, you know, before we told you there's no taxis and there's no computers, there was no McDonald's.
No McDonald's? Oh, no. Well, then, could they go to Hardee's?
No Hardee's either.
Oh, no. Could they order some takeout pizza?
No pizza.
No pizza? So what are they going to do?
Well, Jesus did not like the idea of sending them home. He said, we're all here. We're having a great time. We're talking about God. There's nothing better than that. So why don't you feed them?
That's right. Yeah. Jesus said, okay, no pizza, no Hardee's, no McDonald's. You feed them. And the disciples said,
with what? We don't have any food.
yeah, what, is he crazy?
Yeah. Well, a little boy overheard them, and he came up and he said, well, I have some food. I have 5 loaves of bread.
5 loaves of bread, okay. That's a good start.
And 2 fish.
2 fish. So 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish for how many people?
5,000.
5,000. I'll bet the disciples said, are you crazy?
Thanks, but no thanks.
No,
But,
no way.
But
no way.
Jesus didn't say that.
It's not enough food.
Yeah.
How are they gonna eat?
You wouldn't think so, but Jesus said, oh, bring it over here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so
so
he said, really?
Yeah, he did. He said, okay, bring it over here. And he said a blessing over it.
Okay, he prayed over
He
it?
prayed over it. That's what a blessing is. He prayed over it
Yeah.
and asked that God would be able to feed all of these people gathered around
With 2 fish
and 5
and
loaves of
5
bread.
loaves of bread?
And so the disciples started to pass this food around.
They're probably thinking, this isn't
This
going to
is
last.
crazy.
10 people are going to eat it all and we'll be done.
That's right. But it didn't happen. They
What
just
happened?
kept passing it around and passing it around. And everybody was eating.
5,000 people?
They were all eating and they were all full.
5,000 people?
Yeah. And you know what else? After everybody had eaten, all 5,000 people
goodness.
had eaten, then Jesus said to his disciples, okay, now here's some baskets. Go pick up the leftovers.
Yeah, because there were 12 disciples, so he had 12 baskets. Oh my goodness, and there was something left over?
12 baskets filled
my
with
goodness.
leftover bread.
That's more than he started with.
Yeah.
How in the world does he do that?
Well, we know that when we have faith in God,
Yeah.
anything is possible.
So it was a miracle.
It was. It was a miracle. But Jesus knew this whole time, he knew that these people had come because they wanted to know God more.
Yep, and they wanted to know that even when they don't have enough, God always makes it more than enough.
That's right. And what better way to show that and to tell that story than to act it out?
Yep.
And so God, through Jesus, was able
He was showing.
show how much He is going to love and care for all of his people.
Right. So there are times where sometimes I don't think I'm strong enough to do a big task, but if God's on my side,
He's going to make sure that you can get it done.
if it's God's work.
That's right. If it's God's work. Now, he might not all of a sudden give you big hulking, Hulk muscles, or, you might not all of a sudden be able to hold a hammer like Thor or
Right.
something like that. But he's going to make sure you have what you need. So maybe that'll mean, if you need to lift something really heavy, then a few people are going to walk by just at the right time.
And God will send you some help.
That's right, and you'll get the help that you need. So some way, somehow, God is going to make sure that if you're doing his work, you're going to have everything you need to do it.
So my big hero in this story is God, who made everything more than enough. But the other hero is that little boy.
That's right.
Who said, I have 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread, and can you use it, God?
That's right, and that's probably what he had brought for his family to eat.
Yeah.
And he was trusting in God enough that if he turned over everything he'd brought,
Right.
that he would be fed and his family would be fed.
And
so
everybody
would
went
everyone
away
else.
full instead of hungry.
That's right.
What a great story.
Yeah.
Jesus does some really cool things.
Yeah, he really does.
Yep, he's really good. So remember that even when you think you don't have enough, if you put it in God's hands and pray, then God will make it so we always have enough to do what we need to do.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, friends.
We'll see you next week.
time.
Yes.